Apple made a splash recently when it announced that the company plans to have a self-driving car available for sale in 2024. This seems like an attack on Tesla, which sees itself as a leader in autonomous driving technology, although that is disputed by some investors who see Alphabet's Waymo and others ahead of Tesla. Not surprisingly, the market sent Tesla's shares lower following this news. But is Apple's attack indeed a serious one, and has the company a chance to defeat Tesla in autonomous driving? Let's take a closer look. Hello, please view timestamps in the video descriptions, thank you, and let's get started. Apple vs Tesla. Self-driving car showdown. Summary. Apple is working on a car that targets Tesla's market. It will be an autonomous, premium and electrically powered vehicle. Apple has a range of advantages over Tesla. Apple could benefit from entering the car market. Could it even beat Tesla in that scenario? We see that Tesla is the company with the weaker fundamentals, cost of debt, return on capital, while also trading at the highest valuation among the three companies mentioned earlier. What we know about Apple's plans. News sources have reported that Apple plans to start producing cars in 2024, or about 3 to 4 years from now. Apple started efforts to develop a car 6 years ago under Project Titan, but for a long time, not a lot of things happened, at least when we focus on stuff that became public. For a while, it looked like Project Titan would be software-centric, with some investors believing that Apple would eventually sell upgrade kits to legacy auto manufacturers. But what we see now suggests that Apple will indeed produce a fully functioning car itself, thus Project Titan is not a software-centric approach. Apple's planned vehicle will be marketed to consumers, so neither will it be an enterprise-specific vehicle nor is Apple planning to build out its own, autonomous, taxi network. Apple's planned vehicle will also be electricity-powered, which isn't a huge surprise, as this fits with Apple's brand much better than an old economy ICE vehicle. At the same time, the concept of the car electric, and with autonomous driving capabilities is a clear threat to Tesla, as this is exactly the niche Tesla is positioning itself in. Apple also is a premium brand that will likely not sell at the lowest possible price point, which is also true for Tesla, which increases the potential competition between the two companies even further. This is why we will take a more in-depth look at the two companies that are about to square off in this market, to decide which company could have the upper hand eventually. Apple vs Tesla. Comparing Apple to Tesla is not an easy task, as the two companies are vastly different. They operate in completely different industries for now, while Apple is also a way larger company, no matter whether you look at revenues, earnings, or cash flow. Apple has way higher margins and returns on capital, but that doesn't mean that the same will be true for Apple's vehicle business a couple of years from now. A comparison on a purely fundamental basis is thus not very telling yet, as the two companies are too different from each other for now. We can, however, look at many other factors that could be important for evaluating which of these companies has a better chance of winning the premium autonomous electric vehicle market eventually. Areas we will compare: capital, talent, design expertise, realistic goals, brand value, manufacturing expertise, valuation and takeaway. Access to capital. Scale is important in the auto industry, as this allows for lower relative fixed costs. This means that a company that plans to do well in this space must have access to a large amount of capital that will allow that company to build out plants, sales networks, invest in research and development, and so on. Tesla's access to capital has improved in the recent past, as the company has managed to generate solid operating cash flows in recent quarters. On top of that, Tesla's high valuation allows the company to raise capital via secondary offerings easily. Not too long ago, Tesla has issued shares worth $10 billion in order to bolster its balance sheet. That's a clear improvement over Tesla's state 1 or 2 years ago, but at the same time, Tesla clearly is no match for Apple when it comes to accessing capital. Apple generated free cash flows of $73 billion over the last 4 quarters, which is more than Tesla has ever generated in its lifetime, even when we include capital raises via issuing equity. From a financial standpoint, Apple's resources are unmatched by any other company in the world, which will naturally allow Apple to invest gigantic sums of money in its auto venture if management decides to do so. Access to talent. Money is important, but so are employees. Apple will need engineers, designers, salespeople, and so on to compete with Tesla. Recruiting top-tier talent is not necessarily easy, and companies have to fight for the best engineers, coders, and so on in order to recruit the best talent available. Apple seems to have considerable advantages in that regard. Apple has a significantly higher overall rating, as well as a substantially higher percentage of employees that recommend working at the company. Last but not least, basically every Apple employee is happy with Tim Cook's way of leading the company, while the ratio is lower for Tesla. It thus seems reasonable to assume that Apple's attractiveness for potential employees is significantly higher relative to that of Tesla, which will naturally help Apple in recruiting the best person to do the job. When we add in the fact that Apple's available capital is way larger than that of Tesla, which will allow for substantially higher salaries in case Apple wants to go on a hiring binge, Apple seems to be way better positioned to recruit the people that are necessary to become a leader in this industry. Design expertise. Tesla's vehicles have a fan community for sure, but I nevertheless believe that it is reasonable to say that Apple is the king of designing high-tech products that are both functional and beautiful. Whenever Apple releases a new device, one can be sure that the design will be great, no matter what. The same can't be said about Tesla, however. Looking at reactions to the Cybertruck reveal, we see that some like the design, but others find it rather unattractive. But of course there are many models which do authentically look very attractive. Tesla's Cybertruck window fail is something that would never happen to Apple, as its products are designed in a way that guarantees that they do what they have to do. While Apple also is not a company that overpromises and makes grandiose claims about capabilities that its products do not have. This brings us to the next point. Realistic goals, delivering on your promises. Tesla, unlike Apple, has a history of setting goals that are either not met at all or met with a major delay. Claims and goals such as 1 million robotaxis in 2020 or full self-driving in 2018 did not materialize in the slightest, and it remains to be seen when, or even if, Tesla delivers on those goals. For Tesla's existing customers, the failure of the company to deliver on past promises seemingly is not a large issue, as the company is able to retain its fan base and does eventually deliver good results, and when it does, it's often a huge success. Some investors feel the same and explain that Tesla's failure to meet Elon Musk's ambitious goals was not a major issue, and actually something to look forward to. I believe, however, that this will become more of an issue once Tesla tries to grow its market share beyond where it is right now. But with improving cash flow and constant innovation, it could sprout even more success. Early adopters that are tech-savvy may excuse Tesla's failures when it comes to meeting past promises, as they are just happy to own something that is new and interesting and has a lot of future potential, and is already considered by many as the leader in the electric vehicle market. But some potential customers will be wary of buying from a company that has a history of not delivering what they claim they will. Apple, on the other hand, does not have this issue and should be the more trustworthy company in the eyes of many potential customers. This doesn't mean that there isn't a market for Tesla's cars. Clearly, there is, as the company sells hundreds of thousands of cars a year. But Tesla's ability to grow a lot beyond that level could be limited, whereas Apple has built trust and relations with hundreds of millions of customers already. Those are mostly loyal to Apple, which likely increases Apple's chance to sell them a car eventually. Brand value. Tesla's brand is well known and valuable, but that is even more true for Apple, and the comparison isn't even a close one. Tesla's brand value is seen at $11 billion, while that of Apple is an astonishing $350 billion, more than 30 times that of Tesla. There are multiple reasons for that, including a wider customer base, but I believe that the things laid out above, great design and a more trustworthy company, play a role as well. No matter what, Apple's brand is by far superior to Tesla's brand for now, which should serve as an advantage when Apple eventually enters the car industry. Manufacturing expertise. Apple naturally is not an expert at manufacturing cars, it has never done so. But that is not necessary, as Apple will likely partner with either contract manufacturers or an entire car company for the production of its cars. This means that it will, in all likelihood, not be Apple itself that manufactures the Apple car, just as Apple doesn't manufacture its iPhones either. Apple is one of the largest companies in the world, with a strong brand and very deep pockets. So it is reasonable to assume that Apple will have access to the best contract manufacturers that money can buy. Will those be able to manufacture cars better compared to Tesla? I believe that there is a high likelihood of that. But Tesla is already ahead in the game already. Tesla's cars are strong products when it comes to driving performance, battery tech, etc. Its products are, however, not as meticulously designed when it comes to reliability, preventing rust, etc. If Apple partners up with a contract manufacturer such as Magna International, or potentially even with a car company such as Mercedes-Benz, it has to be expected that the manufacturing expertise and the product quality that these companies could deliver will be superior to what Tesla is offering right now. Apple has no expertise in assembling cars, but it may not need that expertise. Its eventual partners will in all likelihood have that expertise and belong to the best in the industry. That should be enough to overcome Tesla, which is doing everything in-house, which causes significant problems. A word on valuation. Apple's stock isn't cheap at all, trading at 32 times this year's net profits. I believe that this is above fair value, but it is at least somewhat tied to fundamentals. Tesla, on the other hand, is trading at several hundred times its net profits, which seems absurdly high for a company that is forecasted to grow its revenues by 20% this year. A gigantic amount of growth is already priced in for Tesla's stock, whereas Apple's valuation seems way more reasonable, although I don't think that Apple is a buy at current prices, either. Takeaway. Apple is working on a car, which has major implications for the whole car industry. The company that could be hit the most is Tesla, I believe, as Apple seemingly is moving directly towards the niche Tesla has carved out premium electric vehicles that have autonomous ambitions. Apple has a lot of advantages over Tesla in that regard, especially when it comes to soft factors such as the ability to recruit talent, brand value, brand trustworthiness, etc. Tesla, however, is already ahead in the game and is always improving its products and ranges. It will also have affordable options reaching more people as well as premium cars, and it has a lot of people backing it as its share price shows. Maybe Apple's efforts turn out to be fruitless, but in that case, it will still continue to print money with its phone business, services, and so on. If Apple is successful, however, that could spell a lot of trouble for Tesla's stock, as the current valuation implies that Tesla will continue to grow at a rapid pace for a long time. This may not happen if Apple does move into the car industry in a successful manner. Comments.
Why is it concluded that people wish to have self-driving cars? I enjoy driving. It is not concluded, but there are strong economic, safety, and quality of life factors that seem to make autonomous driving vehicles inevitable. Automobile ownership is very expensive. Costs include depreciation, taxes and fees, financing, fuel, insurance, repairs, maintenance, and parking. It can be a real eye-opener to compute your annual cost of ownership and to divide that by the number of hours that you spend in the car per year. Especially if you are retired or work from home. The average vehicle in the US is used less than 5% of the time. Autonomous vehicles will provide an alternative to automobile ownership. We often hear about robo-taxis which will provide rides. There will also be services that allow us to book a vehicle, sedan, SUV, van, truck, sports car, luxury car. When you need it. At the appointed time, the vehicle will drive to your location, and you can use for as long as you need it. When you tell the vehicle that you no longer need it, it will drive away. This will be much more flexible. Since you can change vehicle types as your needs, or wants, change. For many people, this option will be much less expensive than auto ownership because vehicle utilization rates will be higher, and people will pay a fee based on time used, mileage, and fuel used. Autonomous driving will also be attractive for many who want to enjoy texting, emailing, watching videos, working, napping, or having quality time with their kids while they are transported from place to place. At some point, we can expect some highways will be restricted to autonomous vehicles only. These highways will allow vehicles to travel at significantly higher speed and will support higher density traffic flows, while maximizing safety. Eliminating distracted drivers, road rage, and drivers who drive like they are playing a video game. That said, human drivers will be able to drive on most roads for generations. Tesla is done. The stock sells for a price to trailing 12-month earnings of 1,350. 55 and 23 times sales. While there may yet be one good quarter to report before things head south, there is no way to justify such a lofty valuation. At Vingle do a bit of research of what they are doing, how they are doing it, and what lies just around the corner. Similar arguments were made about Amazon, both the business model and the share price. To compare TSLA to AMZN is a joke. I bet you are unaware that ODA was done 2 decades before Tesla. The AP/FSD is level 2, and since AP is under investigation you can assume it will be a couple of years till they get level 3, and since this is 2021 you can go out and hail a ride with all those Tesla robo-taxis. Trivia: SpaceX landed a reusable rocket back to Earth after it was launched, which is great, however 2 others did it before but the fanboys seem to be unaware. I see what Tesla is doing and see what is around the corner. Too many defects are popping up and there is a sign that restatements will have to take place in the next few quarters. With new competitors killing Tesla in some of its best markets and market share collapsing as new models are stealing Tesla customers, the future looks bleak. The risk for Tesla isn't an Apple car but that Apple will do what Tesla shareholder dream of, that every car maker accepts Tesla will use Apple software/technology. Tesla's value is defended with the argument of being a tech company. Apple is a tech company, so there is the risk. Apple isn't interested in building cars but in providing Apple services in every car, so that an iPhone user prefers a car which seamlessly connects to iTunes and Apple services. Apple will research and seek partnerships in this direction because with software and technology Apple will make money in the car space. Not with building e-machines. Musk himself is the reason why only few car makers will be interested in Tesla technology, even if it's superior, simply because the way he behaves no one will want to cooperate with him. You have 30,000 followers, so I guess that your articles, in general, must be good. This is not the case for this one. How can you write an article like this without making any research on the topic? You obviously doesn't know anything about the car market and obviously about the ETH and even less about artificial intelligence. 6. Manufacturing expertise. Apple doesn't manufacture anything, that is what TSMC is for. How can Apple make better margin than Tesla or other manufacturers? You cannot compare to phone where Apple can sell their product at a premium price. The margin of the auto industry is well below the phone industry margin. All manufacturers, except Tesla, use third parties for the car parts. So if Apple use existing manufacturers, I will cost more than Tesla. 3. Design expertise. Designing a phone is very different than designing a car. A car is way harder. 2. Access to talent. SpaceX and Tesla are the two companies that everyone wants to work for. And Tesla said that they are hiring new talents in China and in Germany. 4. Realistic goals, delivering on your promises. Do not get me started on self-driving. Tesla has so much data that even Waymo is way behind. Yes, Musk talk too much, but AI is really hard. My view is, there is only a small chance that the Apple car will release one day. What about the Dyson car? Dyson is a great company, and they stopped their car project because it was too hard. You are targeting only 7% to 10% a year. We obviously doesn't buy stocks for the same reason. I'm here to make real money with real and verified informations. Good luck to your 30,000 subscribers. Manufacturing expertise. Right. Because Apple tells TSMC, here is a modem. Just put it anywhere. Here is the processor, just connect it however you wish. Okay. It is a collaborative exercise. Design. Building a car is different than building a phone. But let me ask you which is harder, putting an engine in a large space or putting an antenna in a small space? Talent. Again. I believe all these large companies have the talent they need to do what they want. What is your point here? Goals. Apple and Tesla have goals. Tesla is relatively a small company that struggles to build out the capacity to execute on its desires. Apple is a relatively large company that has been very good at gathering the resources to execute its goals. Will Apple produce a car? Who knows? It is all speculation. The article here is speculation based on a speculative report that Apple will produce a car shortly. Self-driving cars depend on perfectly clean sensors to function safe. I wonder how they would fare in adverse condition, rain, dust, night, snow, hail, etc. A reality in 2024 or another wishful thinking. I am an investor in both companies, and I'm scratching my head. I can't see why Apple would want to compete head-to-head against Tesla. I think it would make more sense for them to package a kit that other vehicle manufacturers could use in their cars. Such a kit would include onboard computers, onboard software, and networking modules. Cloud-based services. Smart vehicle components that communicate with and accept commands from an onboard computer. User interfaces and apps. In essence, Apple would need to create this kit to produce their own car. Couldn't they reach a wider user base by providing the kit to legacy automakers and others who have the expertise to build vehicles, but lack the skills required to build a kit of their own? There is a segment of the automobile industry that does contract manufacturing, example Magna International, MGA. They have the ability to fabricate just like Apple uses fabricators for the iPhone. Based on the POS of the M3 and Y, paint, panel and interior, just the Apple logo should turn on buyers for Apple at the expense of Tesla. That used to be the plan a couple of years ago, but seems they may want to introduce their battery tech at least. I agree that the Apple logo has mass appeal, and that Apple products are known for their fit and finish. Those products also come at a premium price. Tesla's first generation started producing premium products, Roadster, S, and X. Their second generation products are more mid-range, 3, Y, and Cybertruck. Their third generation products are expected to be in the $25,000 price range and below. The premium BEV market is attracting many manufacturers these days. Many have brands that top Apple in automotive circles. For example, the Porsche Taycan is a fantastic car today. It would be better if it had an Apple computer and peripherals built into it. As I see it, people who purchase premium automobiles do not want to purchase a car that looks like what everyone else is driving. That is why we have so many different premium brands and models today. I simply don't see why an Apple car is a good idea. Perhaps it would have been a good idea a decade ago. At the dawn of 2021, we have legacy automakers who don't have the computer and software engineering resources that they need to compete with Tesla. If Apple partnered with them, Apple could build its user base, and sell more phones, software, and other Apple products. Kuo said the market is too bullish on the Apple car and he wouldn't be surprised if the Apple car doesn't launch until 2028 or later. If Apple car wants to succeed in the future, the key success factor is big data/AI, not hardware, he said. We know that Tesla has kept track of its 1M cars driving on the road, part of its huge data/AI, and India is going to become a #1 manufacturing hub for auto in 5 years, Nitin Gadkari told the Indian Express. Keep in mind that Tesla is like Ferrari and Porsche vs Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. You cannot use the same sale hashtag for high-end/high performance vs common and low-end. Tesla is #1 in sales and charging stations in 2 largest EV markets, China and India. Here is the #1 factor that other EV makers do not have. Tesla could soar over 300% to $2,500 in the next 3 years, the venture capitalist and veteran tech analyst Gene Munster told CNBC on Monday. There's no substance competition, again, they're going to evolve outside of cars longer term, he said of Tesla. Thanks for sharing, I'll take a look. India is going to become a No.1 manufacturing hub for auto in 5 years, Nitin Gadkari told the Indian Express. Not a self-serving statement at all. What electric cars need are standard. They need a charging standard to make it work. Else you have balkanized markets and you will never scale. Who cares about self-driving? It would turn every trip into a taxi ride. Maybe good for some lazy people, but that is not my idea of a car ride. What does the Chinese government say about a Tesla having 6 cameras running all the time and sending the information back to Tesla, and not to the Chinese government? It seems like a gigantic invasion of privacy. Personally, I look forward to the day when I can hop in my car, say take me home, sit back, and do work that makes me more productive while the car does the driving. I view that the opposite of being lazy. The average car is parked over 95% of the time. Autonomous vehicles can be moving over 95% of the time. This will make the entire society more productive. There are clear financial reasons for individual car owners. For grins, compute the TCO for your car and divide it by the number of hours that you spend in the car per year. For most, the cost per hour is staggering. Cut that 95%, and virtually everyone gets a raise. With autonomous vehicles, people will be able to book a ride, or book a vehicle for a period of time. Note, I said vehicle because it will be possible to book a sedan, SUV, pickup, van, large truck, bus, limo, sports car, or whatever you need at the moment. As time marches on, this might even include VTOL aircraft and boats. In terms of China and Tesla cameras, this is what I was told by someone who is responsible for security at a sensitive US government location. Governments designate geographic areas where photography is not allowed. Tesla cameras do not upload or store images taken while they are driven in these areas. The rules are the same in China, the US, and all other countries. Only people who buy Tesla cars are stupid enough to sit in the driver's seat, fully awake and alert, making contact with the wheel every 10 seconds, and say hey guys, my car can drive by myself. Amazing. When you take a long trip, you arrive feeling relaxed and ready to move. No mental fatigue. It also makes it a lot easier to turn around and smack your kid and tell him to shut up. Traffic jam. Stop and go. It's a breeze. Only people that are stupid think that driver assist technology is a waste of time. Amazing. Very few poor people are seen behind the wheels of a Elon Musk-made ride. You are right. Having to turn the wheel in addition to touching it every 10 seconds is essentially a high-intensity workout. Traffic jams, I can easily turn around and smack my kid with this cool invention called putting my car in park. I might have woken up in another planet last time I looked. There's no Apple car, let alone one with FSD capabilities. When will shorts wake up? It will be difficult because they are constantly misled by the articles they read. This has been the case ever since TSLA's IPO 10 years ago. Do they ever go back to reread them to identify those authors who always get things wrong? What have they been wrong about, other than the share price? Sales, revenue, profitability, Tesla going bankrupt. Lots of Tesla bears are surprised by the share price, not the company. As you speak about the differences in quality, I think you must also speak about the differences in philosophy of QC. That is why companies like AAPL will always win the war. AAPL accepts nothing less than perfection, and remember, with autonomous driving, human life is involved. Perhaps Tesla's QC approach has been dictated by economics, or perhaps its eccentric leader. Either way, I don't see any change coming soon enough to stave off the onslaught coming from larger OEMs, VW, MB, BMW, etc., and AAPL. And the EV today is a far simpler vehicle to produce than any current ICE, yet Tesla struggles. Look. Tesla jumps $15 to $676 at start today, Mon 12/28th/20. India is going to become a No.1 manufacturing hub for auto in 5 years, Nitin Gadkari told the Indian Express. Keep in mind that Tesla is like Ferrari and Porsche vs Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. You cannot use the same sale hashtag for high-end/high performance vs common and low-end. Tesla is number 1 in sales and charging stations in 2 largest EV markets, China and India. Here is the number 1 factor that other EV makers do not have. Tesla could soar over 300% to $2,500 in the next 3 years, the venture capitalist and veteran tech analyst Gene Munster told CNBC on Monday. There's no substance competition, again, they're going to evolve outside of cars longer term, he said of Tesla. Another Tesla hit piece. Oh, here comes the competition, just like Rivian 2009 no car. One of the 2 companies you write about has 5 BEV cars and a BEV truck with as close to full self-driving software as anyone has ever gotten, and the other is just beginning to think seriously about it with employees mainly from the first company. They don't compare in any metric you discuss, and if Apple is ultimately successful, there is room at the top for both of them and more. Apple would be better off having bought Tesla in the past, but because they didn't, having learned from the experience and looking to buy a company like Lucid, which is another company with Tesla cast-off employees, in the near future. Either way, Tesla has nothing to worry about. It's not a zero-sum all-or-nothing game.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and comment your thoughts on the topic, or what future videos you would like to watch. Hit the notification bell for more videos. Until next time, goodbye, and stay safe.